Yes. I've taken a piece out of the nobility many times on this channel. I don't know why, but it just keeps coming up, and a lot of stories have kings and queens and knights and don't like the nobility. Don't like the idea of it. I think it's atavistic. I think it's weird. I don't know why it still exists. But hey, it doesn't mean The Crown isn't a really good show. I'll tell you why The Crown's a good show. Every episode you can watch by itself and never watch another episode, because they're all very self-enclosed stories. There's an arc that is pretty much like the loop is closed by the time the episode is done. That's why it's really good. I want to talk about one. I think it's called Moondust. I think it's authentically good work from top to bottom. Okay, so I think this is the 7th episode of the current season, and it's one of the better things I've seen on television in a long time. Okay, so this episode centers around Queen Elizabeth's husband, who I gotta say is probably my least favorite character going through the story, but in this episode I actually start to feel this dude, and I don't want to feel anything for this guy. That's a sign of good writing, because I really, more than the fact that I don't like the monarchy, I really have no positive feelings towards this guy. I mean, yeah, everybody's got tough times in their lives, but you're really going to try to make me feel sorry for a guy who has somebody else put on his underwear for him? I don't think so. Or can you? It centers around Queen Elizabeth's husband. I don't know, whatever his name is. He's watching the moon landing, so it takes place during that time. And I think that's a really cool perspective, because he's a man of like incalculable position and wealth and the standard of living. But yet, watching this unfold, this triumph of human spirit and technology and innovation, he's at a loss for himself. So, I mean, it's cool to see a man of that status knock down a peg, or I don't know if that's the point of it, but it's just a perspective that we ourselves can't see. So, anyways, I think also, like, in this episode, what is it, Prince, whatever. He's going through like a spiritual crisis, and that has a parallel. He's going through basically this is a like midlife crisis tale, and this is about envy, and about no matter how awesome it is, you always want something else or something better, something greater. And that's just life, isn't it? Even if you live in a friggin' castle. I think that's the point of this thing. But having never lived in a castle, I can only guess. So this episode offers a lot. He's getting older, and he's envying the achievements of others. He's at war with himself, and the fact that it comes from someone so worldly blessed might actually make it more poignant. And I like that he's humbled. I also like that when he meets these men that he has been admiring so much, the 3 astronauts, they just come off as rather pedestrian, parochial, kind of hayseeds. They're just men, and he almost had them exalted as gods, and the fact that they're not gods, which I would think maybe your reaction to that would be, okay, good, I'm on equal footing. Actually, the fact that they're not up on Olympus kind of makes him feel worse, like there is no Olympus. And I think a lot of spiritual crisis, midlife crisis, come down to that. It's not just that there are other people that you maybe once admired, the fact that maybe you thought somebody was on the mountaintop when you were growing up and you admired that, but once you find out maybe there is no mountaintop, that's the real crisis. Questions, don't know. I'm only in the middle of a midlife crisis, not actually having gone through the whole thing yet. I can't really tell you. Okay, so this is classic grass is greener stuff, and if you've dreamed at all, you've dreamed of being like someone. You've built someone greater up into your mind, a person or people that have gone further and reached higher than yourself, and this is perfectly natural, but ultimately unfulfilling. So the Queen's husband is just like the rest of us, full of regret and wondering if he made all the right decisions. The answer? For him and everyone else, nope, you didn't. Nobody else has or will. The fact that he's underwhelmed upon meeting the astronauts displays a human truth we often forget. There's so much to admire in other people, but that does not make them wholly admirable. All of us have deficiencies and strengths, and somewhere in the midst of running and comparing and contrasting, we should attempt to know we're all trying, winning, and coming up short, just like everyone else. Cheers. See you after.